Hi, my name is Jason and I am one of the co-founders of SWAT English Academy here in Gangnam, Seoul, South Korea. I've been an English educator for over 15 years, and I'm here today to talk about 4 quick and easy English reading tips that you guys can use to help maximize your test scores for pretty much any standardized test. Let's rock and roll. All right, guys, tip number 1 is simply understanding the question. You don't know how many students get answers wrong because they either misread or misunderstood the question. Guys, that is the ultimate donkey move. Make sure you read the question carefully and understand exactly what it's asking you to do. I always advise my students to read each question at least twice before searching for the answer. So tip number 1 is make sure you understand the question correctly and thoroughly. Tip number 2 is read only the pertinent information. Now, what does that mean? A good reading test taker only reads exactly what is necessary. They are not wasting time reading and rereading the entire passage over and over again, looking for answers, searching for keywords. They know exactly which paragraph that answer is going to be, and even down to which group of sentences they're going to be looking at, and they won't waste much time. So tip number 2 is read only the most important and pertinent information. Tip number 3 is maximize your odds. So generally speaking, on most standardized reading tests, they're going to be multiple choice, right? So you're going to have either answer choices A through D or A through E. I always encourage my students, get it down to a 50-50. Eliminate as many incorrect answers as you can and get it down to 2 possible answers. You don't want to be selecting from all of your answer choices. Always try to eliminate incorrect answer choices rather than simply focusing on finding the correct answer. So always get it down to a 50-50, guys. Maximize your odds. And the last tip kind of ties into the third one, which is don't waste time. Sometimes on a standardized test, guys, time is going to be your biggest enemy, so don't waste too much of it. If you've got it down to a 50-50 and you're not sure what the right answer is, pick and pray and move on. But a lot of times kids will waste time. They'll be confused and they're reading the same paragraph over and over again, 3-4 minutes, trying to figure out what the right answer is. Guys, let me tell you right now, if you weren't sure in the first 30 seconds to 1 minute, the next 3 minutes to 4 minutes is not going to make the answer any more clear. Don't be a donkey. Don't waste time. Pick and pray and move on. All right, guys, now that we've covered those 4 tips, let's see if we can put those into practice. We're going to take a look at one of our questions from SWAT's standardized English test for our 6th grade students here. And we're going to take a look at question number 2 because step number 1 is understanding question types. So let's make sure we understand what this question is asking us to do clearly before we move on. So question number 2 states, according to paragraph 1, which of the following is true about the Dorset people? So let's make sure we understand what kind of question this is. This is called a fact question. Fact questions are the easiest questions you get on any standardized reading test. You should never get these wrong because it's asking you to simply find one of these answers inside a paragraph. Meaning the answer is right there written for you. You simply locate it, underline it, pick your answer. So this is a fact question. Now that we understand what it's asking us to do, A, B, C, and D, one of these is in paragraph 1 or paraphrased in paragraph 1. Let's move on to step number 2. Step number 2 means reading only the pertinent information. Now, what do I mean by that is some kids might read the paragraph first and then revert to their answers or then refer to their answer choices. But the problem with that is you're gonna forget some of the information. If you read the paragraph first and then go to your answer choices, you might find yourself in a situation where you're going back and forth from paragraph to answers, from paragraph to answers. We don't want that. So for a fact question like this, I would suggest starting with the answer choices. Completely ignore the paragraph. Nobody cares about the Dorset people. You're not here to learn about the Dorset people. You're here to get the correct answers on this test, right? So just go right to the answers. Answer A says, the land that they lived on was first occupied by the Inuit people. Now go to paragraph 1 and find a sentence that says that or paraphrases that. If you cannot find such a sentence, strike it from your list. It is not the correct response. Do the same things for B, C, and D. Now we move on to step 3. And what was step 3? Step 3 was maximizing your odds. Now what you're gonna find is out of your 4 answer choices, one of them is correct. One of them is gonna be kind of confusing. You're not quite sure if it's correct or incorrect, and 2 of them are gonna be ridiculous. Now, what you don't wanna be, is you don't wanna be the kid choosing the outlandish answer choices. Do not, I always say that to my students, I don't care if you get the question wrong, but I care if you chose the worst possible answer, because that's ridiculous. So you want to avoid choosing the 2 worst possible answers. Try to strike those from your list immediately. Now, if you look at answers A, B, C, and D, what you're gonna find is 2 of these answers, the opposite information is stated in the paragraph. I'm not gonna tell you which, but you'll be able to find it hopefully on your own at home. Take a look, read through it. Now, lastly, don't waste time. Once you've got it down, you're fairly confident you've got it down to a 50-50. 2 answer choices, and you're fairly confident one of those is the correct one, but you're not quite sure which one. Pick and pray. Don't waste time, guys. Reading the question more, spending more time on it is not gonna make things any more clear. Now, on the flip side, if you are fairly clear which one is the correct answer, don't be an idiot, just choose it. That's the one you're gonna go with, right? Don't waste any more time than necessary. Say, okay, that's the answer, I'm confident, pick it and move on. So that's how we put these 4 tips into practice in the case of fact questions. And so let's see if you guys can get the correct answer at home, and the correct answer will be revealed to you shortly. Okay, awesome, guys. Hopefully, if you guys completed number 2 successfully at home, you would have chosen answer B. Answer B was the correct answer. It says they disappeared as a culture after existing for around 1,500 years. This required a little bit of math, but in the actual paragraph, it says that they existed between the years 500 BC and 100 AD. If you do the math, that equals about 1,500 years. The Dorset people lived in that region for about that long. So that was answer B. The curveball answer choice was D. D says they were the first humans to live in the Arctic part of Canada. Now, the paragraph does state that they were there, the Dorset people were there before the Inuits, but they don't give us any more information than that. So we cannot infer that they were the first humans to live in that part of Canada. All we know is that they were there before the Inuits within that time frame. And answer A and C actually had contrary information. The opposite was stated in the paragraph. So A and C were the horrible answer choices. God willing, you guys did not choose one of those 2 because that would be disastrous. But B, if you got it down to B and D, you're on the right track. So we're gonna do one more sample question for you guys. It's number 6 on the same test about the Dorset people, the Dorset passage. Number 6 says, according to paragraph 4, so another fact question, the Dorset people stayed near the coastline because. So now let's make sure we understand that question properly. It's asking us for a cause of something. There's a causal transition, because. The Dorset people stayed near the coast because. So for this question, I don't even look at the answer choices. I go straight to the paragraph. What was step 2 in our 4 tips? Tip number 2 was read only what is necessary. Read only the pertinent information. So for this fact question, I actually don't need to go through each answer choice. I'll go straight to the paragraph 4, and I'll simply look for that sentence that tells me why these people lived near the coast. And you're also going to be looking for corresponding causal transitions, words that mean something similar to because. These are words like since, due to, as a result, therefore. These are all different types of causal transitions that might lead you to the right answer. So for this one, simply read through each sentence and locate the reason why they live near the coastline. Don't even look at your answer choices. Once you've found that, then refer to your answer choices and pick the corresponding one. I'll give you guys a couple of seconds to do that at home right now. All right, hopefully, if you guys did it correctly, you would have chosen answer D. Right in the very beginning of the paragraph, it says, since, let me find the actual exact quote. It says, since they needed to be near their food supply, the Dorset people mainly resided near the shores of the Arctic Ocean on the modern day Canadian mainland. So right there, clear as day, it is the first sentence in the paragraph. And that is answer D. They remained closer to where their food was. For this question, you don't even have to get it down to a 50-50. The answer should have jumped out right at you. So for you guys who got answer D, give yourselves a pat on the back. For those of you guys who chose anything else, I don't know what to tell you. Keep plugging away. You'll get better with time and practice. But remember those 4 tips, guys. Understand the question type. Read only what's necessary. In case of confusion, get it down to a 50-50. Number 4, pick and pray when you're not sure. Don't waste time. Keep in mind, there are different question types. Today, we looked at 2 fact questions, which are the easiest types of reading questions. Throughout the course of these videos, we will be looking at all the other types of English questions that you might run into on reading tests. But for today, we decided to stay with the basic ones. And each different question type has a different strategy to solving it. So we'll be going through those question types with you guys in the future. I look forward to you guys logging in with us and going on that journey. Please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, all that good stuff. If you need any information regarding SWAT English Academy, that should be found in the description down below. Thank you for coming along with me during this little journey down reading lane. I'll see you guys in a bit.